Hello and welcome to this edition of the Angels and Destiny Show. Why is this show called this, you may ask? So I'll tell you. The accepted meaning of angel is messenger, and the accepted meaning of destiny is to make, firm, establish. So my guests and I bring you messages to establish what you need to know in the present. And of course, I love working with angels and the calmness they bring. Now, in a moment, I'll introduce you to my wonderful guest, Carmelle Riley. But before that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching the show live at a later date, as it means a lot to both of us to connect with like-minded people. Now, if you've never met me before, then my name is Ray, and I'm the founder of Radiant Angel Energy. And I'm a spiritual guide and healer who's passionate about helping you reconnect with your divine presence and step into your purpose. Now, through angelic Reiki, angel oracle cards, guided meditations, and exploring past and future lives, I support you in healing your past and creating a soul-aligned future. Now, my journey has taught me that with the right tools and guidance, we can all connect with our higher selves, embrace transformation, and live a life of abundance and fulfillment. Now, each episode of this show covers various things for your journey, a mini guided meditation or angel oracle card reading with the wisdom of my wonderful guests, like today's guest, Carmelle Riley, about her recent channeled insights into stargates connected with the Divine Feminine, Sirius, and how this energy is expanding and activating around the world. Now, Carmelle is a Māori Pacific commercial lawyer, tribal entrepreneur, and spiritual teacher based in Aotearoa. And I do apologise for any mispronunciations I make today. Now, with ancestral roots spanning Ngati to Ōāmaru, New Hawaii and Pakistan, she brings a powerful blend of Indigenous wisdom, practical experience, and cosmic insight to everything she does. Carmelle's the author of the best-selling book, Super Manifestor, Manifest the Secret in You, and is currently rewriting Māori Astrology in her second book, Super Manifestor, Manifest the South Stars in You. Now, Carmelle teaches Māori cosmology, meditation, quantum energy healing, and manifesting. And her work supports conscious leaders in the Southern Hemisphere to expand their impact through infinite abundance. She's also a mum to 3 young adults and lives under the Milky Way in the Ōāmaru Mountains of the South Island at a natural stargazing site that's part of the global geopark. So without further delay, hello, Carmelle, and a warm welcome to the Angels and Destiny show. And I know it's early in the morning for you, so how are you today?
I'm great, thank you. Tēnā koe Ray, and tēnā koutou everyone. Thanks for having me here. I see we're joined from a Aotearoa colleague, my divine friend, priestess, pop star. So there we go, grand rising.
Thank you for joining us so early in the morning. So before we get into this fascinating conversation, I want to remind you not only can you share this video, but you can also ask questions, leave comments and thoughts, as both Carmelle and I want to be part of this conversation. So please don't be shy. So Carmelle, why don't you tell us more about your journey and how Divine Feminine Stargates and the Sirius Stargate will be affecting us?
Can I just make one more mihi, because we've got another sister.
We have.
Sister, tēnā koe, Natasha, tēnā korua, nā wahine mā, which means hello to you too, and hello to everyone else. No mai, haere mai, welcome here. And I don't think I can start without also making a mihi to our ancestors and higher forms of spiritual guidance that are always here with us. And Ray, thank you for having me, so we can merge this fusion of the angels with the whetū Māori, the Māori stars, and ground it here on Earth. It's really a incredible time to be alive. That's what I want to start with. Sometimes we forget, but it is an incredible blessing to be alive in this moment on Earth and in this moment in the cosmos.
It is. So tell us about your journey for everyone who's not met you before.
I don't even know when you ask me a question like that, I actually drop into te kore. It's been a grand arising. That's the only thing I can say. And this year, and I actually know that I'm speaking for pretty much every woman on the planet that's halfway spiritual. I think this year has been an even grander arising of our wairua, our spiritful selves. It has been really tough, but I guess to summarise, I'm in my 50s, and I started my early life with a lot of trauma. I had teenage parents, and my mother was 16 when I came into this world. My dad was 19. I come from a place called Levin, but my roots are in a place called Turangi, which has got a big lake next to it. That lake is a vortex. So that is a very special place. And there's a very big mountain. That is a very big thing about New Zealand. So I've literally spent my life retracing my ancestors. And those ancestral lines are here in Aotearoa and in New Zealand at that place, starting in Turangi, but they extend into the Pacific as well. And then on my mother's side, we have some Pakistani, Afghani, Iranian heritage. So I guess that's the biggest factor. The rest is is just all play, but includes, a few businesses and a husband. But the main thing is, I think that, and it's pertinent to where we are here today, because I share this with our friend Natasha. I have a linkage into a pivotal point in Cancer. And Cancer in the tropical system is all about the moon, he marama, and it's all about the ancestors. And progressively in my journey, as I've come along, even though I did start without a lot of whānau family around and very broken and disconnected, traumatised whānau, that is a factor of being here. If you're Māori in this world, we are dealing with intergenerational trauma at a huge level. And so as I've progressed in my journey and as I've become more spiritual, I've found more ancestors. And I think that is why I can say that we are so incredibly blessed to be in this time-space reality, and under this incredible blessing of the Milky Way. For us in the south, that's Te Karoa. And literally it's a call to us to hold up the sky, and that's to hold up the sky as women, and that is to hold up the sky in our families, in our communities, in this earthship and further beyond. And we'll get into this a little bit in terms of how the universe is structured. But yeah, that is my journey. It's been feeling into the arms of my ancestors and finding more of my earthly connections here in Aotearoa.
Yeah, and it's really interesting that you said that, because a lot of when I'm doing the cards recently, I'm getting so much about clearing ancestral paths, clearing the past. It is such a big thing that's coming up at the moment. Every time I'm pulling cards, it's there.
Yeah. Which is so pertinent to this time. And it's really interesting because I can see there is the red dawn that's peeking up. We say e he aki ana te atakura, which means arise the red dawn. And it's so beautiful for us. Aotearoa is all about the whenua, all about the land, all about the maunga, the mountains to the sea, ki moka, ki tai, and this flow of energy that comes through us. But I like to take it even higher above, because if you actually, and I know you do this, like whether you're seeing the light expressed as angels, which is, is we all have access to that, or whether you, in my case, are looking into the stars and looking into Kori, the golden heart star of our entire galaxy, which is such a slow transiting and slow guiding force, or the galactic center of the Akash, other people describe it as. But as you look through and you see into Te Kori, and then you know that beyond that, all the grandmothers are there, all the wombs of the other galaxies, and their wombs, they're not black holes we're all joined through the wombs of whakapapa, of lineage. It's not just ancestors down here. It just goes up and up and up, and they're all holding hands, all holding hearts. And when you start to have some understanding that everything is connected through the wahine lines, the female lines, so important to be saying this now in Cancer season, it shifts and changes everything, which is really my calling, is actually to bring all that down and to, try and simplify it, because when you go into this area of galactic astrology, which is my current, desire to work it all out, that probably is the commercial lawyer part of me. But I don't want to work it out for anything other than I want to share that with other people who are wanting to work it out as well, and mostly they're women who are wanting to clear our whānau lines, because there's no reason why we can't be joyous in this physical time-space reality. And I think that's the hardest thing for us all to overcome. It's particularly this year. This year smacked so many women that I know right in the third eye. It was like a punch in the third eye. Actually, I got to say, and probably my divine sisters from Aotearoa will agree with this. Last year I did a dragon session with a beautiful sister Viviana, and this blinking black dragon hongied me, and honging is a pressing of the forehead and the nose to exchange the sacred breath. Hongied me a black dragon hongied me in my third eye to start the session. I was sitting there at my computer. I don't think I was hosting that session, but I was like, oh, I didn't even know I had. And then another one popped up. I've got a golden dragon, but then I had two black dragons, and I was like, what are you guys doing here? What are you showing me? And that was last year. But this year, it's like like everything has been shifted away by the black dragons. One I think is earthly, and one is definitely galactic. But the universe has cleared the decks, and for a lot of women I know, the universe is clearing the decks. And a lot of men who are in their divine, sacred feminine, which is where we're going to go with these stargates and really what this time means, because I personally feel there's been a shift. I feel there was a shift when we came through the 27 degrees of Gemini. I feel that there was a shift which was about the middle of June. I think it was the 18th of June was that big. And when I was hearing, like, a lot of people reached out to me in that week, women, and they were like, what the hell is going on? Why is it so hard? Why am I feeling so bad? Why can't I get up? Why am I having these conflicts? Why am I having these head buttings? Yeah. And it felt so heavy and dense, and everything was being reflected. We were projecting and reflecting back at ourselves at this huge degree that we weren't used to. So that was the lead up. We'd had this, this testing first part of the year. We've come into this second part of the year, and it feels to me like things are becoming reassembling.
Yeah, it's like things are beginning to get a little bit easier, and it's like flowing, and that we've got to start trusting the flow of where things are going now, not fighting against it, just going with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this Stargate, which is which peaks at what is known as the Lion's Gate, is actually not the Lion's Gate. It's just the merging of a couple of calendars. It is, because in galactic astrology, it starts with what you see. Right. So, and it starts with embracing the fact that our sun is a star, and in our galaxy, the sun has created in our solar system, but then recognizing that all of what you can particularly see with your eyes is part of the fabric of the conversation. Someone described, a really great galactic astrologer described it to me as like a Russian doll.
Okay.
That you are here as the tiny, and then all around you, as you go up through those galaxies, through those wombs, you've got this, this being that just grows and grows and grows. And that's just our galaxy, which essentially our sun takes 225 million years to orbit. Get that.
That's amazing. So, give people an idea of the difference between your, say, like natal astrology and galactic astrology, because until I spoke to you, I didn't even know about galactic astrology, and it's like, oh my God.
Okay, so it's a reference point, but the reference point that we mostly give, and 90% of the astrology on the internet is from the Northern Hemisphere. And it's planetary focused. It's your position on Earth looking at the planets based around the equinoxes. And that's the tropical system. But it's the Northern Hemisphere. So, for example, we are talking right now, which is so cool. I am here in Aotearoa and you are in the United Kingdom.
Yep.
You've got summer and it's nighttime. I'm down here in winter and it's morning time. You can see the reflection of the sunrise, the red dawn is coming up. So that is why I have started to shift and change my focus. Because if you rely on the Northern Hemisphere version of astrology, which starts on the first day of spring, on the 21st of March, the first day of Aries, and is based on those equinoxes, we've got a challenge down under.
Yeah.
So even though I'm born in Leo time, I am way more Aquarian than I'm a Aquarian Leo. We have the opposite. And that's a real challenge when you understand Southern Hemisphere zodiac. So if you're just working with the straight geo astrology, that is a challenge because you don't really fit the mold and you can't really apply it. The other challenge that we have, all of us, is that the astrology system, the tropical system, hasn't taken account of the shift in the seasons through the precession of the equinoxes. So that is because it's based around the equinoxes, they've shifted. So if you go, this is how you understand it, because I know it does get complicated. If you go outside and look at your stars, they won't be in the zodiac sign, they'll be back. So you have to go back when you're looking. And it doesn't matter so much for the planets because we all live a modern life and we've accepted some elements of this Gregorian calendar that was created by Julius Caesar. This is a really cool fact. When Julius Caesar wanted to create the Gregorian calendar, the first year was 445 days.
Oh, God.
No kidding. He said, I'm going to do this. And that happened and everyone bought into it in the West and it's stuck. So, this whole idea that things are, static is BS. Which is where we get into the galactic astrology. So when you go out and look, you can get this idea of the stars. And for us in the south, these stars are huge, more so than the planets, because our ancestors navigated on Waka all around the Pacific to different islands. Like this navigation happened with using the stars, because the stars don't move very much. They move very, very slowly, whereas the planets, the wandering stars, are shifting all over the place. And the sun, our orbit with the sun, is pretty fast in cosmic terms, particularly when you go back to that golden heart, Te Kore, and you think, okay, that is such a slow transit. Everything else seems to be fast on Earth, but it's not out there. So with the stars, you could rely on them to navigate because you knew that they weren't going to move. Whereas the planets or the moon or the sun, that's shifting all of the time. So that is how our ancestors navigated the islands. And that is essentially what we are bringing back through with galactic astrology. It's those other objects There's a lot of difference between galactic astrologers, though. For me, it's star-based. Some are into the centaurs, that's above Neptune. Others are into the black holes or the golden hearts, the wombs. Others are into the sacred spiraling, the shapes, the sacred fractals. It's all just a reference point. And again, this is where the ancestors come in, because it's up to you to claim your ancestral heritage. I know, for yourself, whether that's Celtic or whether it's Scandinavian, those are the kind of key, or whether it's Roman, you'll step into that. And when you start to go into that, then it starts to come down. An easy way to make it come down is to just actually start to cool. And I think that is really what started to happen to me with astrology. Like, I actually started to call to my star ancestors. At first it was just like, whoa, oh, there you are. And I've always had the sun. I love the sun, and that's probably a Leo thing, and the moon, which is also a Cancer thing. But then when you actually start to call to these stars, and I think that's why I wanted to get to know them, I wanted to feel their influence bigger. All of the stuff starts to integrate and to make sense, because if you think about it, like, we're on Earth, we're a hot rock of quartz, basically, purple quartz at the core, speeding through the galaxy at light speed, but that light speed is in a context of 225 million years of our sun. It's a spiral galaxy. That's what we're in. We're in these tentacles, the axions, I think they're called, that thread back to the Big Bang when our galaxy was created. That is a very slow passage, and it actually helps you, because we all know when we slow down how peaceful we become, how our higher perspective is available to us, how our ancestors all start chatting at us, and how our heart starts to be able to do its real work, which is connecting with other hearts, which is connecting with Te Kore, 27 degrees of Sagittarius, which opens on the 18th to the 21st of December. That's a straight line into that golden heart. But we can always connect with that. And I think that's why I got so interested in these stargates, because I didn't just want to know that I could see the stars. I wanted to know when the stars were essentially going to be blessing us with days on Earth, because there are correlations. And this is a very big stargate that started on the 4th of July. And today is a very big ushering of the star that is known as Sirius in the north. To us, she's known as Hini Takarua. And to you, she, in the north, she peaks at about the 8th of August, which is known as the Lion's Gate. It is actually more a moon gate. Because Sirius is, she holds the moon and cradles the sun. She is, for us in the south, she's a winter maiden. And she's a wahine star, a female, a divine female. She literally grabs the sun and captures him and takes him to bed. And he cuddles her all the way through to spring when he goes to his other wife. So she's a call metaphysically to go within, to dance the slow dance, to hear the message that everything takes a long time in the galaxy, if you believe in time. But it's always through the heart. There's always that connection. So for us in the south, we gather with our families, we gather with our sisters, we eat kai, and it's dark and cold. So, what's the time now? 25 past 7 here. And there's still not a lot of light.
No, but it's looking beautiful as it's coming up.
It is looking beautiful. It's well timed. Thank you, Tamanui Tara. So there's a call to go within, and I like this message for us as women in this time. I like that we can grasp this time, which lasts us and through until August, and that we can remember a little bit more of the slowness of our female ancestors, as in the galactic ones. And I like that we can remind ourselves daily with this practice of slowing down, because there has never been a time that when we've, needed to slow everything down.
Yeah, beautiful. So we've also got Mirror here saying, hi, it's getting red. What
Sure.
energy now? It's good. And Divine says, feeling your words there. And Divine also says to not be so serious. Oh, absolutely. Perfect there. I like that. I like that one quite a lot. So these stargates in the Divine Feminine, are there any particular signs that they're going to be more affecting?
So if you're born between the 4th of July and the 8th of August, you're going to be within, or you have points, because so for us it'd be the opposite time of the year as well. We get 2 bites of the cake. So if that's the 4th of January through to the 8th of February, you're going to get hit. But I mean, wherever you are, like it's an axis. It's not like a perfect science, but definitely in the south, because we are exactly opposite.
Yeah.
And 12 days, 12 hours ahead. So if you're in the south, you can hit it at either of those points. If you're at the north, it's between the 4th of July and the 8th of August. And that's just the time where essentially Sirius, I can I see her? I can't really see her at the moment. She's basically rising with the sun. And Sirius, or Honey Takarua, as I said, down south, she takes the sun to bed. In the north, she was actually associated, and I'm talking about her actual sighting time, not the astrology fixed time. And it's important because with stars, you should use the astronomical system, what you can see with your eyes or telescope, whereas with the planets, it's okay to use the tropical system because they relate to our solar system, what we can see on Earth, the Earth physical reality. But if you're going galactic, you really want to understand that when you see them, you've got to use the other system. But she was so Sirius is really important, and I think the Egyptians made her the most famous because when she was, it's in the height of summer, and when she was sighted, generally the Nile would rise and flood. So it was a time of feasting. It was a time of being out there. It was a time of, really connecting into that sacred energy. And there's a lot of myth around that. There's also a lot of myth for us, or stories, or kōrero, or pūrākau, as we would call them in the south. But it's the opposite. So it's all about going in and, putting on your blanket and coming within yourself and slowing down, as opposed to the opposite. So she's a great example of the difference between the south and the north. She's a great difference in terms of the myths. And that's really, wherever you are, you will find the myths that resonate. I think the other thing to say about this particular, so it's Cancer and Leo that are most affected, and in the south, Capricorn and Aquarius. But because we have all of the elements, when you see, I was going to get you to just quickly flip up that beautiful chart. When you actually see your star chart, it's quite, so you can see all of the influences. And the reason why I like looking at the galactic charts, although there isn't the software that can kind of tell the complex stories that we have, which is not surprising. Like when you look above at all those stars, I mean, how could you actually map that and say, well, that's where I belong? But you will definitely find that by looking at your own chart And that essentially takes you up to the sun's position. And it just will show you the places where you can essentially go through the sun in your meditation and then go out to the places you're connected. So Hinitakura or Sirius as a star is a system that many people feel that they are Sirian. They have the indigo light, the blue light. They're really into crystals. And they're, it is really funny because when I was born, essentially, at the time, and at the time of my birth, which was very early in the morning, there she was, just like, Sirius is very strong. There's another star that's close to her that was very strong in my rising. And other people will have that. And I literally, like, how people hug trees, or I lick rocks. I hug them and I lick them.
Hey, whatever.
No, but literally, I follow them. They call to me. I have a jewelry business. I have the ancestral. Or here's some the Heitiki. They just I have bags of them. There's you can see them everywhere in the house. People always saying, "Why is there so many rocks in the house, Mum? why are we stopping at this particular rock?" But it's because I've got to have a chat with them. So I believe that's my Sirian nature, and anyone else who's out there who has that call. Well, Aotearoa is a rock. We basically are a rock that was like that, that's upended. Some call it Lemuria, or however you describe it. We're on a floating rock here. And, we all are on the Earth. We're on a galactic rock.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Yeah, we are all on the galactic rock. So how's the Divine Feminine working out in this? And I mean, obviously, when we talk about Divine Feminine, where do men sort of like come into this?
Yeah, okay. So what people believe is the black hole, 27 degrees of Sagittarius, which is both Sagittarius and Gemini. That black hole's not a black hole. On either side of the black hole, we have the divine masculine and we have the divine feminine. The whole, the heart, is the child. We say Ayo, A-E-O. And that's the masculine, the feminine, and the child. Ayo. Ayo also means peace. So when you integrate the divine masculine and the divine feminine and you play like a child, you are peaceful. That's the structure of our spiral galaxy. We're in a spiral galaxy, right? And we have this influence. So even coming to Earth, when we're looking into that divine balance, essentially we have crossed the galactic equator. We've gone from this point of being dragged over to separation, duality, contrast, polarity, and we're heading back to oneness and cooperation and love, peace, where we will be so beautifully aligned with everything that we feel love, happiness, peace, elevation, gratitude for. We'll be so into that. We'll need another bang to smack us through. But we are at that midway point. And in Aotearoa, it's actually not that far away from us. 30 degrees south, Te Kori is right over, basically the Kermadec Islands. So we've reached that point right in the middle, and we're heading back to the divine feminine. Even the Earth's pole stars, there's 3. Polaris, the North Star, which you can see probably even now, you'll be able to see Polaris. That's the divine masculine. That we hit that point 2012. Then we have Vega or Whānui for us. She's the divine feminine. She's in Capricorn. Polaris is in Gemini. And then we have Thuban, I think I pronounce that, which was the time of the Egyptians. So that is a 27,000 year cycle. And the Earth's rotational core is moved by the pole stars. We've hit 2012, we hit the hardest right masculine, 27 years will be whānui. But then beyond that in the galaxy is 112.5 million years till we get to complete inertness. So the whole calling of the Divine Feminine is actually to bring some of the energy, because if you decide to be where you are, you can be at any place, multiple places in the galaxy, in real time, in your body. You can be in your body, you can be out there at the same time. We can integrate some more of these energies, and we need to, because just think about our world at the moment. Just think about this time we are in. So much contrast, so much division, so much masculine pushing. Even all of us women, we have to really, or maybe not all of us, many women have to really push themselves to remember that we're supposed to receive. We're supposed to dance, we're supposed to play. And then not only are we forgetting sometimes the beauty of the divinity of the female, the emotional. I say, you're not too emotional, you're a starseed, you're an empath. And you're meant to be, as a woman, you're meant to be emotional. We're meant to be emotional. And just think about, how hard it is to have an emotional conversation with somebody. They'll be like, oh, no, but this is the way I think about it. No, this is right. No, I'm going to tell you how it is. And who's playing? So it's not a male-female thing. It's not a north-south thing. It's not an Earth galactic thing. It's integration, peace, Ayo. It's the integration. So when we integrate, and I literally think this is why some of us have been popped out of our worlds and into safe spaces, because our female ancestors and those wombs, our womb of our galaxy, the Golden Heart, says, come on, wahine got to lead it out. You, with your emotional being, woman, you've got to lead the integration. If you're a divine masculine being, yay, I want to meet you. Hello, put your hand up.
Yeah.
You'll be leading it out too. But I think it's easier for women to lead it out because we've got better imaginations and we are generally more open to holding arms with our sister. This is what this time was about. When I was channeling, I went through the sun, and I would encourage anyone who isn't doing this. I know that many people are. If you're not doing this, here's an idea for your next guided meditation, Ray.
Yep.
Go through the sun. Ground yourself in our earth with those spiraling tendrils, remembering at the bottom of the earth, at the core of the earth, there's a Merkaba star, and those ley lines point all around our planet. You can go to those places through the earth. Give love to Papatūānuku, Mother Earth. Really ground yourself in there. Bathe yourself in moonlight. At the bottom, ground yourself, anchor in, and then go all the way through into the sun. And then from the sun, stay for a bit and ask to be guided. And then allow yourself, with your angels, with your guides, with your ancestors, the Ātua, however they come to you, and allow yourself then to go through wherever you need to go. I think the other thing I really wanted to say, that this came to me this morning when I went into Hini Tākarua, and I don't normally go to Sirius because I don't know. I don't know why I don't go there. I probably need to spend my Priestess Piwaka goes there all the time. She can talk a lot about that. But use the spiral galaxy as you're going through, and then also use it as you come. When you get to the earth, what I do is I ask for a word. So I often get 2 words which stick with me, and then I spiral those words through all my chakras. So I often get whakaaio, which is peace, and peace really helps you'll feel the deepening as you say it, but everyone has different words. So when you get into that earth ship and when you're grounding, ask your ancestors or your guides or whoever to give you the words. They're going to help you just really center. Because if you don't do that, what happens is you get lost in, the everyday swirl. So there's, rather than let all the words be there, which takes a long time, I just ask for whakaaio or aroha is the other word, which will start to really deepen the meditation, the trance. And I literally drag, which is a good thing, dragging love or bringing love through all of your body helps, or peace, or what it could be, eternal soul is another word. Divine is another word. Everybody has their own kupu or their own words. And as you get up, you'll just go through all your chakras with that word. So for me, whakaaio, 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 breathing, touching the heart, pumping the heart, smoothing the arms, whakaaio, and I tone as well. By the time I am here in my head, I feel sick now.
Drink some water, ground.
No, it's just like my body goes into the trance. By then, you go straight into the sun, and it's very, very easy. And then just let yourself be guided. The sun our sun created everything in our solar system. The sun without the sun, nothing would grow, Metaphorically and physically, we need our sun. It's a star. It's not a sun. It's a star. It's the biggest star. And when we use this integration, that's what I mean, wahine got to lead it out. You're being put in a safe space now. You're being put in a quiet space. You're being called to hold hands with your sisters, with your family members who need your love. And you're being called by this ancestral star, Hini who's in Cancer. Cancer's all about roots, hometowns, rootedness, being at home. Kai, the moon, emotions. Emotional intelligence. Listening to your intuition. I'm not going out. I don't choose to go and do that. I'm staying home. And these were the words that I got from Ōāmaru for this time, which will take us right till the 8th of August and the Lion's Gate. So it was calling within, the sun within, being the stars in your body on earth, remembering your sacred center, your heart, being the heart on earth, calling in your sacred words, your sacred knowledge, holding hands with yourself, holding hands with your sisters, holding through the sacred gateways, holding hands in circles, circling with your sisters, with your brothers, with those you love, your spiritful friends, and holding the aroha. That's what she said to me.
Wow. That is brilliant, and that is absolutely amazing. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Divine says helps me center, and I do that a lot during the day.
I think we all do. The amount of stimulation we get just from your phone, the router, the fluorescent lights that we work under. It's
the 5G towers we've got and all of that.
Yeah. I think maybe that's why some of us wear so many crystals. Yeah,
possibly.
This is my EMF. I don't just have a little patch. I have an angel aura quartz sphere on the back.
Right. On the back.
I had another one there which just dropped off. I didn't put enough super glue. But also our polyester clothing, our polycarbonate clothing. We have a lot of, we're surrounded with these, with this artificial stimulation. And then, when you're running this toxic thinking through yourself, I think this is a very important thing about this time that we're coming into, because we're heading back to oneness, and because all of this light is streaming down through Te Kore and beaming out through the Milky Way, particularly from the south, because you can literally see Te Karoa, the longfish. All of this light is actually shifting us up, and it's not just happening to us, it's happening throughout the whole, it's that Russian doll, Russian family, whānau. That light it's a lot to absorb. No wonder people say we've got 70,000 thoughts per day, thoughts and feelings running through us. I'm sure I'm around 120. I feel like
God knows how many go through my head a day.
Exactly. So this time, this Stargate is telling us just to really slow down. If that is the one message, and to, as I said, bring whakaeo or peace through your mantra, that spiral it through your sacred centers, your body's chakras, and then go to the sun. I know that definitely the Divine Wahine who showed up from Aotearoa today, we've been working with the sun a lot. For me, it was a game changer in my meditation. If I cannot do anything, I can definitely spiral in the words. And if I get into the sun, when I get into the sun, you can go into peace or ao for quite a long time without any other words coming. It's sometimes hard to get past the swell, and not go and then get lost on a tangent of that's an attack thought. That person is, I'm going to kill them or they're going to kill me, because that's, I'm exaggerating, but that's the lack, is an attack upon our divine soul consciousness. So this gateway is really important, because we have our female ancestors reflected through the star, who are showing in our dream time, are showing in our collaborations with those of us who have integrated the divine feminine. And through the moon, looking at the moon, she's a moon goddess, and being in touch with our intuition and our emotions. This is the time when we can, just really feel into that energy.
Yeah, beautiful. And, we were talking beforehand, and I kind of said, things have really slowed down for me. And going from that, kind of will explain why things have suddenly slowed down for me, to take that time to find that peace.
Yeah, definitely. And to move in that kind of childlike joy. Another gifting, really, I think, of Hini Tākura that is important for anyone who listens, who's kind of dealing with those, whether it's related to your fertility cycles, or whether it is related to the slowing down of those cycles. Like, a lot of women talk about the effect of perimenopause and menopause. One of the ways that you can really start to regulate all of this is actually by feeling into the moon's energy, because she rules fertility. She rules the cycles of our wahine, our wahine beingness, and she rules our ovaries and our uterus. So when we move with her, again, we have these, we call them atua, they're big elementals, and we're running around under fluorescent suns, chasing really silly attack thoughts of division, when we have these sacred influences that are always calling to us to make the most of that knowledge, that sacred knowledge, the sacred callings.
Yeah, wonderful words of wisdom. And if anyone's watching, they've got any questions, then still got time to ask some. So as you know, I like to ask my guests each week whether they'd like me to pull an oracle card for them or do a mini guided meditation, or if there's something they would like to offer to those who are watching and listening. So, Carmelle, what would you like? Or is this, what would you like to do if you want to do something?
I would love you to pull a card for all of us, and I'm just going to check in with our beautiful audience and see if they would like that, because it's always so, we need an angel. We need some angel wings, right?
We we do. So funny enough, I've got my oracle cards in front of me, the cards that I love using.
They're beautiful colour.
Yeah, they're actually the Sacred Traveller oracle cards by Denise Lynn. And they are absolutely beautiful and amazing. And I find they are very good because they are Sacred Traveller for telling you about where you are on your journey at this moment in time. Because obviously when I do the cards, any cards, I do the cards for what you need to know for your highest good at this moment in time. Because even though I work with the past life regression, when I take people back to the past, it's to learn, to heal from, to understand, so it doesn't affect them in the present. And when I take them into the future, it's so they can see, know, and understand what the future is, how to get there, what not to do. So they come back to the present, so they're not worried about the future, because we do need to be in the present all the time. So what does Carmelle and anyone who's watching this live or the replay need to know for their highest good this moment in time? Just Carmelle and everyone who's watching this live or the replay need to know for their highest good moment in time. See where we want to go with that. Perfect. We have got first light, beginning the new cycle, and we've got the sun and the moon together.
That's so funny. I got to show you. I've got 4 ticking in my hand that just pulled out of my bag. Here's the sun. So this is jade for abundance, and halite, which is that sacred healing stone, but the white light, the moon and the sun.
See, you can never ever make these things up. The universe just works so divinely perfectly when you trust the information that comes through.
First light.
I know. So as you know, this card is saying, there's a new cycle that's beginning now. It's that light is coming in. Obviously in the south, you're going to be coming into the spring. Yes, we are going to be coming into the autumn, but we've still got that new energy, that new light that's coming in, and the combination of the moon and the sun. So for you, really, Carmelle, this really is sort of like confirmation with everything that you're doing at the moment. This is absolutely perfect for you and for everyone.
Also because first light, we did see the dawn come up.
Did.
And, the themes that you were talking about, that cycle and the sun and the moon. So Cancer is the moon and Leo is the sun. So, I love that our Aotearoa not only are blessing us through this as well. Here's Cancer, here's the moonlight, and here is Tamanui Te Rā, the sunlight, who literally just came up for us. So how cool is that?
That is just how it works out. So anyone who's watching, don't worry about how things are going or what's happening. A new cycle is coming in at the moment. This first light is coming. If you're looking at the wider scale, the new light is coming in. Just go with the flow and allow it to start happening, because it is happening. And and as you said at the beginning, we are so blessed to be alive at this moment in time, getting to see what's going on, actually tuning into that energy, being part of this change that's coming in. So thank you so much.
But even galactically, the first light, the going towards cooperation. I mean, just to even think that we can channel the light from the end that holds, Te Kore at the heart of our galaxy, we can channel in that divine cooperation. I think that would be something I would love to, just seed here in the first light, is a little bit of cooperation.
Yeah, cooperation would be absolutely
for all our desires. I know, I'm feeling that there is cooperation at a little bit, but we need more of it.
we need so much of it. But the beauty is, like you and I, we can come together and we can bring that energy. Other people can bring that. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world for doing that. We can all do that, and everyone who's been watching live or the replay, as Divine says, we are all seriously getting things done. I just love that play on words. I think that's absolutely brilliant. I'm going to be stealing that. So just, Divine Daily, I'm stealing that. I will credit it to you. That I am.
We just need the "let's go" now. That's the other that I got that from. I say that all the time. Let's go. Seriously.
I
You
love
serious?
it. I love it. So I hope everyone that you've enjoyed this conversation and found it insightful, as I know I definitely have. So Carmelle, do you have any insights or thoughts or last words of wisdom to leave our viewers?
Oh, I feel like I've spoken so much. Lick rocks. Go
Hug
find a
trees.
rock. No, definitely the rock. I think this is, and we've got to remember the rock. We are the rock, and we are rocks. We are soft rocks, but we are, I guess if you understand how rocks metamorphose into the crystals that we love to wear, that comes through a huge pressure, huge momentous pressure, and a bit of entry of water to actually. So in one rock, there'll be a tiny crystal, So I feel as if that this is really the Stargate, is this call to go within and create your own crystalline energy, even more so. And that is what we're going to bring into this new cycle as we're dancing around on this Earth ship, feeling into the cosmic energies as the galaxy shifts and moves us.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. So if people want to connect with you, Carmelle, how do they do that? And do you have anything coming up at the moment, or any free gifts, offers to share?
So I have on my website, Manifestors Unite, there's lots of entry points, and but I also have a podcast on YouTube where I have both really interesting interviews with really interesting guests. So Ray will have to come and join us over there, and we'll get into the angels deeply. But also I put all the meditations that are a subscription. So there are you can go deeper. And in particular, there is one was gifted a breathing practice, which is power affirmations and breathing, and with some, with the meditation. So it's fusing those three things. And that is really, really powerful. I've been doing it for 21 days, actually probably more than that now. I've probably been doing it for 30 days. And it's really, really shifted the stress that I've had carrying this year, and possibly, for many lifetimes, it feels like. But particularly this year, I've had a lot of nervous tension. So we want to shake that out of our nervous, and movement is the only way to do it. So that is on in my subscription on YouTube. But there's a heap there. I just put a lot there now because it's just videos are good if people want to remind themselves of, practices that help. Practices. That's what it is. Practice.
Yeah, always practicing. Always practicing. So thank you so much, Carmelle, for sharing your wisdom. It's been absolutely amazing. And of course, for anyone watching, if you are ready to connect more deeply with your soul's purpose, and if you're feeling the nudge to heal, grow, and align with your life that you were born to live, then I'd love to support you. And you can now join the waitlist for my Soul Path Discovery Program, which is a transformative journey for you if you're ready to clear old patterns, connect to your soul's wisdom, and step forward with clarity and confidence. And you can book a free Soul Path Discovery call by messaging me direct to explore your path and see if it's the right fit when the spaces become available. And of course, I do have a couple of incredible free gifts for you designed to help you get more deep with your guides and explore your future. So check out the link in the comments after the show to grab yours. And I'd like to thank you all so much for watching, and thank you to everyone who's joined us. You're welcome, Margaret. So glad you enjoyed it. Divine, thank you so much for joining in. Yeah, we are all here to share. Beautiful. Thank you so much for your kind words, and for everyone else who joined in with this conversation. We are so blessed that you are here. And of course, you know, I would like to invite you to share this video, as I'm sure there are more people who feel lost or want to get clear on their destiny just like you. And of course, if you are watching this on YouTube, then please feel free to subscribe to my channel. It is free. And hit that bell button to be notified when the show goes live, or I post new guided meditations. And remember, every time that you like, share, comment, subscribe, any of my stuff, any of Carmelle's stuff, any of my guest stuff, you are part of that beautiful web of getting this information, this unconditional light, unconditional love, and this light out there. You are part of this beautiful weaving to create, you know, an unconditional love world that we can all grow, nurturing, and the future generations can grow perfectly as well. So again, thank you everyone so much for watching and sharing, liking and commenting. And I look forward to you joining me same time, same place next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you too. Lots of love.